You're listening to the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fun-filled episode. I am Todd Gilbert.
And I am Brett the Hitman Fortney.
And I am, in fact, hanging with the Hitman, like we do every week.
Yes, I am.
Yes. We
Did
are.
you see how I put the Hitman in the middle this time? Usually I'll say, like Brett Fortney the Hitman. Yeah, I switch it up and move names around. Words. They're only words.
All right, Barry Gibb.
And once again, not that we have any sponsors, but I'm going to take a sip. It's time to sip.
Oh, I don't have a drink over here.
Get it ready. You didn't get your sip?
Didn't bring a beverage.
Okay, I'm good. Okay. I'm sorry.
So it's been...
Anyway, as we are going on the air right now.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we just found out before we started recording that Jerry Springer passed away. We're starting on an up note today. We're starting on a positive. Not really. But Jerry Springer, how old?
Literally, I was like, okay, let's 79.
Wow. Former mayor of Cincinnati. Talk show host of scripted reality TV talk shows. Just, oh, man.
See, I used to watch that in the 90s. I used to watch this show coming home from school. It was just like, instead of getting fights at school, I would just run right home and watch some fights on TV. And of course they're scripted. Just randomly we're gonna have a wrestling match in a bowl of Jello. I mean, randomly. You know what I mean? And they're up to it to do it too on national TV. So either they got paid a lot of money, but whatever. That's a whole different thing. But I did enjoy the show as what it was. It was not real.
Right.
There was a lot of controversy back then. There was a lot of controversy back then about shows like that. Were they real? Of course they're not real.
Right. Oh my God.
Or maybe what it was like, okay, we're gonna go with the theme. We know you guys aren't that mad at each other, but just pretend like you are, okay? Just really act like something's really upsetting you with this other person, and then just see what happens.
And then you get special episodes like my secret dad is a midget, and
those are some weird shows. Yes.
A mutual friend of ours, Ashley Peacock, once told me he had a friend that was an actor, and he got cast to go on the show, and it's literally an improv acting show. Like they give you bullet points, like you're getting ready to make a Christopher Guest movie or be on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And you just make up stuff and see how crazy it can get. And it's all improv and it's all acting and none of it's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He sure made it look real, though.
Yes, he did.
I was always a fan of Steve.
Oh, yeah. Steve, and then he got his own show.
Yeah.
Wilkos.
Yep.
He got his own show there for a minute. Another mutual friend of ours, Jesse, I was a Jerry Springer fan, and then he would tell me about Steve Wilkos, and his, because I think I had mentioned at one time that I had been watching that show. And after that, when Steve got his own show, I got weekly updates on all the episodes that were happening, and they were usually about the guy beating up on his girlfriend. So Steve's got to take, action. And, you want to beat up on a woman? Why don't you beat up on a real man? Then it would turn into a whole different show. But
then lawsuits and
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I'm just saying R.I.P. to Jerry Springer, man. I really didn't. I know he was older. I didn't know if he was sick. Did you find out any info on that?
No. I haven't heard anything.
It just happened like literally. I mean, we just found out literally like 15 minutes ago. So we don't have a lot of info on that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You'll find out.
yeah. After school, it was Jerry Springer. It was what was his name? Montel Williams.
Montel, yes, Montel Williams.
Not
I
Montel
almost said
Jordan.
Montel Jordan.
So did
I almost said that.
I.
This is how we do. Hey, did you understand? Did you know there's a fun fact? I don't know. It's probably well known or whatever. But the vice president of the United States used to date our Mr. Montel Williams at one point in the
Really?
90s.
Nice.
They dated, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way to go, Montel
They were-
Williams.
yeah. And he was dating our vice president.
That's kind of cool.
That was just a fun fact I didn't know. If you knew. I mean, she was no. It wasn't like she came out of nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
she did. You know,
And then there was court shows that I liked watching. My favorite was Judge Greg Mathis.
oh yes, because he kept it real. He really did keep it real. He wasn't playing with nobody. He's like, I used to do meth. You know, I used to do drugs too, man. I understand the struggle, and he'd really get into it. There's one episode. Oh my gosh, it made me cry. I never would have thought that Judge Mathis would have made me cry. But there was one episode where a family was fighting, two people with each other, like a dad and a son kind of a thing.
Mm.
And pretty much what this dad was pretty much saying on TV that the son, you're just worthless and all that stuff. And Judge Mathis said, hey, I'm not putting up with that, number one. Then he goes into all this spiel. Do you understand what you're doing to your son right now and all this stuff? And it got really emotional. And I got like goosebumps. I started, smelling onions in the house or whatever. And I started getting a tear coming down for a second. But then I had to wipe it off and everything was good after that. But yeah, that was, if you ever can look that one up, I don't even know how you would, but it was a really, really good one.
He was awesome.
Judge shows was my thing, man.
And let's not forget the Queen.
Court,
let's not forget
People's
the Queen,
was
though.
The one.
Let's not forget the Queen, though. Judge Judy, the Queen.
Oh, all rise,
Yes.
all rise, all rise, all rise, all rise, man, all rise, all rise to the Queen, man. Okay.
I'm so sad though when they brought her show back that they didn't bring the bailiff back.
Oh, I know. I don't understand that. I don't know. I actually kind of looked into that a little bit, and what I was reading was kind of like he didn't really expect not to come back to the new show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could have been a mutual thing. It could have been over money. Most times it is.
Yeah, usually.
He was a very important part to that. He was, he was out and about. I looked him up at one point too a few years ago, and he's living his life, man. He's out like partying. He's got like gold jewelry on. He has no like similarities to the bailiff that he is on the show. He is like out on the town and got some Gucci
Right.
shoes on and stuff. No, but Judge Judy, we talk about this. I love her so much just because I know a lot of people don't. She's very opinionated. I have come across a few times where I've thought, what makes you the person to say that this person's not lying? What if they're not, or what, whatever. Or if they're lying, if they're not lying, sometimes you just wonder, like, one person's going to decide that. But I have faith in the trust that I have with her, that I know that she knows she's learned, because she's talked about this, body language, eye movement.
Mm-hmm.
When she does those little things that like makes them like off guard for a second when they'll be talking, then she'll like hit her gavel really quick, or she'll go like, oh, it's not an answer and all that stuff. Sometimes when she's doing that stuff, she's throwing the people off so they can't try to continue on the path of the lie that they're getting ready to tell. She's snapping them out of that and saying, like, look at me in the eyes, because that's when she can tell. Mm-hmm. I think in that way, there's a lot more to Judge Judy than what people think. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
she has a lot of knowledge and skills.
What was her, do you remember what her original, like, field was of law when she was a judge?
Yeah, it was a family judge. It was a family court.
Like family court, like child support and custody and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's seen
and
the
that's
worst.
Why when you see the show.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's why when you see on the show when she says stuff like, I've seen you thousands of times.
Yeah.
Because it's the same story usually. And, you know, sometimes stories are different. I don't like that she says that sometimes because I feel like the worst thing in the world for me is like to try to tell somebody something and then not understand it.
Yeah.
And then not believe it if it's something that could almost be unbelievable, because a lot of things in my life are.
Right.
Seems like I'm the Forrest Gump of local cities. I guess I feel like I'm always around when things are happening. But anyway,
have you drank about 13 Dr. Peppers? You know.
No. I do like Dr. Pepper though. It's one
have
of
you
my
tried
favorites.
the new one?
I did. Yes. Well, are you saying the cream one?
There's a
cream
brand new
one. No,
one.
but I'm doing the chair. Which one?
Strawberries and cream. It's strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper, and it's so good.
I have not.
And they have one you can drink. They have a 0 sugar one.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's a game changer, dude. It kind of tastes like It kind of tastes like a birthday cake, sort of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice.
Like a birthday cake, like with vanilla frosting.
Yeah, and strawberry.
That's where that cream comes in.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
it's super good. But no, I with Judy, like, yeah, I get that her being originally a family court judge, she has seen literally the worst of the worst as far as liars and deadbeats.
Yeah.
And you know, nothing is more savage but also sad than custody battles, man.
Now here's one thing, and we can get off the Judge Judy thing in a minute, but I just want to ask one question because I've thought about this.
Okay.
The Judge Judy question.
Okay.
Knowing all those things that I know, that you know, that when people say it, you go, oh my God, no, she's going to, like when people go, well, basically, Your Honor, oh my God, you know, she's going to go, there's no basically.
Yeah.
Is not an answer. These things that she always does.
Yeah.
I want to go on there and, number one, make sure I don't do that accidentally because I know all of them that she's going to throw out. If I ever go on there, I want to go on there just to go on there. I don't care. I'll fight you just to go on there. I'll give you a black eye just so you and I can go on there.
We'll stage the whole thing. It'll be great.
No, because she can usually smell them out, too. There's been a few of those.
Has there really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, she usually will say something like, I smell something just isn't right. And if it's not right, if I'm not feeling right, it's not good. And yeah, she's done that probably about 4 times. I've seen it throughout the 25, 30 years.
Wow.
But what I was saying to what I was going to ask was, knowing all those things that she says, right? And you're going to be really careful not to say those things. Am I allowed to ask her? Am I allowed to talk to her about, like, ma'am, I just want to say I am going to try. Like, does anybody ever acknowledge? Nobody has ever acknowledged that she doesn't. They'll say, like, oh, yeah, I watch your show. I know. Ha. No, I want to say, like, I know what you're doing, or I know exactly, you know, how you do your stuff, and but probably not. They probably cut that out if I wanted to have like a little conversation with her about it first.
Yeah, judges
I would really like to sit down and talk to her. I would love to sit down and talk to her.
By the time you've gotten to her show, she knows that, you know, by the time you've gotten there, you've screwed up enough that you're there. And she's not interested in your excuses or your reasons she just wants justice and the next person to come out. She's not, it's not about, you know, catering to everybody's ego or whatever. She's out to find the truth in the quickest amount of time she can so she can get the hell out of there. And it's funny because I saw an interview one time where she said they film like a lot more than people see. And half the time when she's angry, you're getting her at the end of the day. It's like the end of the shoot day where she's just over it and she's just wanting to leave because she's sick of dealing with all these people. Like, so.
Yeah. I love her little things when she says stuff like that, when she'll be like, Let's move along. Lunch. We have lunch coming soon, or she'll say stuff like that. I love when she says that kind of stuff. Lunch is
Right.
coming soon. Oh, one more thing, because I guess I have a million Judge Judy. No, I don't. I'm not that fanatical, I swear. But I do have one more thing. That I do have a friend. As I'm watching one day, I'm like, wow, this guy looks really kind of familiar. I'm going to wait for his name to pop up just to see, because there's this guy on the show that is looking really familiar to me. Mm-hmm. And it was one of my great friends that I grew up from like kindergarten to about, I don't know, 8th, 9th grade.
He was on the show.
And he was on there, and Flint, Michigan, all that stuff. And so then, coincidentally, I run into him. I haven't seen this guy in 35 years or something. And I run into him because he's mutual friends with somebody else that I know. His brother is mutual friends with somebody else I know. And it was like, Ken, his name is Ken Bradburn, went to school with him. And he told me about this story because I wanted to know all the insides. I watched the show. Yeah, I watched it. He did win this case. It was about a car thing where an ex-girlfriend took money for selling it and didn't give him the money for it. Something like that. And he won his case. And I said, so what did they do? And he said, well, they flew us out. They gave them each, I think they got a, I don't know, like $250 or something for, I don't know, maybe it was maybe $2,500. I can't remember. Whatever it was made me feel like, oh, okay. So that's why they're not really, really pissed off sometimes when they lose. I mean, they're always mad just because of the fact that they lost, but the money part would be more. If somebody said to me, you owe them $5,000, I'd be like, oh, devastated. I'd be like, I'm going to go into debt. I'm going to go, I'm going to live on the streets. So I'm going to, and these people are just like, yeah, okay, $5,000. But it was very interesting. I'm going to, next time I see him, I think I'm going to have another conversation about that because there's some really cool things. They put him up in a hotel and they flew him in, and I think that'd be kind of fun, and they spent the night, in Los Angeles on the town.
It's
night and everything.
It's funny you say that because I too have the same kind of story. There was a band I was in, and I won't say the band or whatever, but one of the people that I played in the band with years and years and years ago. I'm sitting there watching my stories, as we call them, and out he comes onto the show, and I'm like, and apparently the dude was being sued by an ex-girlfriend as he was stalking her. And they played all these like answering machine messages that she had from her answering machine of this creepy, like all this creepy stuff he was saying to her because she wouldn't get back with him and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wow, so I played in a band with a creep stalker guy. That's fun. And I'm calling up everybody else that, in the circle of people going, turn on the TV. Oh my God, turn on the TV. And like, long story short, he lost. But,
what story or what show was that on?
Judge Judy.
Oh, you're saying Judge Judy too? Wow.
Yup.
Okay, cool.
Yup. And she did not want to hear a word from him at all. Like, the minute the first answering machine message was played, she had made up her mind right there. And she's like, nope, you are, and, personal protection order, all that stuff. And
Okay. Yeah, you put a whole bunch of messages on her voice on her answering machine.
And she saved them all and brought him to court. And she played them. And Judy's face as they're playing, and she's like she was very like, what? Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So, small world.
Hey, this was kind of exciting to me. I'm going to go back to a music thing that we go everywhere in different places when we have this show. But what I've been really enjoying, and not that I'm not being sacrilegious when I say here, but right now I am enjoying CDs more than I am enjoying the records. Only because I'm kicking back. Listen, so I'm kicking back in my red chair, which you might be able to see behind me there. It's really, really comfortable. It's oversized and everything. And I've been going through my CDs, alphabetizing, and hopefully at one point I looked through last night, seriously, Todd, I've been worrying about it a lot more than I need to. Because remember when you and your girlfriend came over and you guys pretty much did 90% of the alphabetizing of my CDs? Well, it must have been at some point when we had the flood where they were separated and I had to take some CDs off some shelves. So up to about CD area, everything's good. Like I know that like L through like RS is all kind of screwed up. So I have to do that section. But as I'm going through them, I'm looking like, wow, I wonder if this CD was ever remastered, because this would really sound nice with this new setup that I've put together in my room here with the stereo where I can sit in that red chair, just kick back and listen to a full album and really nice sound, almost like a surround sound kind of a thing. I want some remasters of these, I want new versions of these older, not great sounding, only because they were for their time, whatever the quality was, But so I've been getting a few of them. I've just been getting a few of them. I just want to show you. I got this one the other day. This is Rick Springfield. And I posted on Facebook, and it's his album called Living in Oz. And the song Human Touch, remastered through these speakers, Human Touch, is just great. Anyway, I just want to say that I've been doing that this week, and I've been watching a new show, speaking of Judy. The show is called, Jury Duty. Jury, of course. Yes, it's called Jury Duty. And it's a documentary style thing. It's kind of like if you put SVU, listen. If you marry SVU with The Office, right?
Oh,
it
so
has
it's
that
like
kind of vibe.
a confessional type
It's like
thing.
it's a court thing. It's a court thing. But here's the thing: at the beginning of the show, so there's no spoilers here. At the beginning of the show, it will show all these people are actors, and they think, this one guy thinks he's being filmed for a documentary on jury duty, the actual like jury duty that people perform every day. But actually he's being filmed with a bunch of actors who are going to be his fellow people in his, in his court proceeding. They're all actors except for him. And they're filming him because he thinks he's making a documentary. So there's all these things that are going on. Everybody, have you ever heard, do you know the actor James Marsden?
I think so.
Marsden? Is it Marsden?
Oh, yeah,
Marsden?
Yep.
James Marsden?
Mm-hmm.
I said it wrong. Yeah. He's in it as himself. Like he is acting like, oh, I'm an actor, but I got called for jury duty. So he's acting through the whole thing that he's really pissed off that he's got jury duty, and he's got this movie. He's got this movie he might get coming up here. So but it's an 8-episode show. So it might be a series. I think that if you watch it, you'll feel that they could probably fool a couple more people before this catches on, because there are it was really good. It was something different. It was something that I've realized that I do like reality TV more than I probably should. And that it's kind of like reality, but when the judge, I'm like, that's no way that's an actor. That's the way he was talking to judge through the whole thing was like, no, that's how judges talk, man. That's exact. It's great. It's just a great show. It's called Jury Duty, and I found it through Prime. It might be like a hub through, into something else like a Showtime or something. But I found mine because I have hubs through my Prime. So you have to look it up. But it's called Jury Duty.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I think
one guy. It's 8 episodes, and they're like half hour long. So 4 hours you can be done with it. It's really the concept is just so cool to me.
That sounds super fun. I think that's what I'm gonna do later. Is I'm gonna watch some of that. That sounds a lot of fun. Well, since I don't have my after school stories to watch anymore, got to find something new.
I know.
Judy's not even on TV anymore.
No, she is though.
She's on Amazon.
Well, you can get her on Freevee, which is a free download. So Freevee can come through Prime, but you can also get Freevee for free, which used to be IMBD TV.
But she's
You
not on
download the app, and then.
But she's not on network TV anymore, is what I'm saying.
No, she's not on network TV. Well, I think that what's really cool is that they put on like they filmed like I'm like on like the 65th episode in season 2. Like she makes that, and I'm still going. Like I don't know if these are the newest ones, but they're going right up to like they're talking about things that were happening in 2022 in like February and March. So it hasn't been that long that these things were filmed. So they're newer ones. So
nice.
Anyway,
well, I think
what else can we talk about? That's something.
Well, I think actually that's a good spot to close out here because I'm gonna go watch me some jury duty. Maybe watch me some Judy Justice. It's called now.
Yes.
Make
it like a court-filled day, like a court.
Right.
Like then watch a couple SVUs, watch a couple of those, with your favorite girl in there.
Some classic Judge Wapner, maybe, from back in the day.
Oh, Judge Wapner.
I mean, the new judge is fine.
Judge Joe Brown. I don't know about him, though.
I forgot about Joe Brown.
I used to watch him a lot, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, as...
Joe Brown was 7. Judge Joe Brown was at 7. And Judy was on at 7:30. That's when we started watching it. I was watching Joe Brown at 7, and Judy was at 7:30 at the beginning. And then, Joe got in some trouble, and then Judy became an hour-long show.
Yeah. Man, I remember Judge Joe. Man, I remember that guy. Man.
He got in some trouble. He did get in some trouble. He did.
So, yeah, put in the comment section. Let us know who your favorite TV judge was. If I'm going to have to pick a favorite, I'm going to have to go with Judy just because, I mean, the queen, man, the queen.
If we do have a lot of people listening and watching, you know how many people disagree that about my feelings on Judy? I don't know. She gives me like a grandma vibe too, which my grandma was very stern and, she didn't put up with shit. And I feel like, my grandma passed away about 20 years ago. So I feel like I kind of, in that way, feel like I got a grandma I can watch on TV. That's so sad. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying it does have like a grandma vibe to me now. It really does. It didn't back then.
Well, I'll let you go then, so you can go spend some quality time with your TV grandma. And
I gotta go visit grandma.
Right. Plus, the lawn care people are getting here at our apartment complex, so it's about to get loud. And it's, oh my God.
Okay.
And they always park right in front of our building because it's in the back and nobody can see how lazy they are. Because they will literally just sit out here for 2 hours doing nothing. It's hilarious. No. But yeah, let us know in the comment section who your favorite TV judge was, or even if you dug that kind of stuff. And yeah, we will be back next week for another fun-filled episode of Hanging with the Hitman. So until then, I'm Todd Gilbert.
And I am Brett Ford, the Hitman.
And we'll see you all on the flip side.
Toodles.